Chapter 1. The Breaking Point. 5 years ago, I was sitting at my desk, staring at my screen, pretending to care about another pointless meetings. Emails kept coming, bills kept piling, and deep inside I felt stuck. Everyone around me was doing the same thing, like working, earning, spending, repeating, but no one looked free. Not even the ones driving the luxury cars or living in big houses. They just had prettier cages, that's it. That night, I looked into the mirror and asked myself, is this the life or just survival with a salary? And that's when I decided I was not going to chase the promotions. I was going to chase peace. Not just make money, but build true wealth. Something that would let me live on my own terms, my friends. If you ever had that moment, whether you feel like the system is silently squeezing you or your soul, please drop in a fire in the comments. FIRE stands for financial independence, retirement early. Now, the chapter 2. What's true wealth? I used to think wealth meant having a big bank balance, fancy holidays, and some flashy lifestyle. But slowly I realized true wealth is not about showing off. It's about waking up peacefully on a Monday with no alarm, no boss, no rush. It's the ability to say, no, I don't need this job. Yes, I can take a walk with my child right now. I'm not scared of my bills. You see, my friends, wealth is freedom. Not just financial freedom, but freedom of time, energy, and mental peace. That's the clarity that we need. Once I truly understand that, everything around me changed. Now let's move on to the chapter 3. Step 1 is to eliminate the chains. The first thing I did was to attack the debt like a warrior. No excuses, no delaying. I cut down on junk expenses, cancelled all ego-based purchases, and threw away every extra dollar at the loan. Each payment felt like lifting a stone off my chest. Slowly, the burden became lighter. Why do we need even unnecessary things around us? Just imagine. Debt is not just a financial problem, it's a spiritual one. It keeps you scared. It makes you say yes when you want to say no. So I made sure the chains were broken. If you are drowning in debt now, please do start small. But remember to start. Freedom loves momentum and not perfection. Chapter 4. We are going to buy the freedom and not the flashy things. I stopped buying things just to impress others. No new gadgets, no fancy clothes, no dining out for shows. Instead, I asked everyone just a question before every purchase. Will this bring me closer to freedom? If the answer was no, I dropped it. While others were flexing online, I was quietly building my foundation. And now, the same people who once laughed at my minimalism, now asking me for an advice. You see, my friends, if the item is not giving you back any money or any freedom, it's not worth it. Okay, let's move on to the chapter 5, the weekly investing routine, which I'm going to tell you, it just changed everything around me. This step changed my life too. I didn't wait to save a lump sum. I simply started investing every single week, automatically like a clockwork. Do you want to know where did I invest? Yes, into world-class income-generating assets that produce cash flow monthly, not just on paper profits. Things that pay me every month. Assets that grow quietly but powerfully. And I never stopped. Rain or shine doesn't matter. Markets goes up or down doesn't matter. I was just kept going. That one habit, one consistency done weekly created the snowball effect that turned into the financial peace. See, my friends, you don't need to be a genius. You just need to be consistent. That's it. Now, chapter 6. We're going to talk about how owning real assets and not liabilities. I didn't chase the next crypto coin or random trends. I just focused on real assets. Cash flow, real assets, things I can see, things that pays me. The steady income comes from the quality investments. A few properties that bring in rent, gold and silver for emergencies, and then the long-term funds that kept growing over time. Every asset I bought answered just one question: can this help me sleep peacefully at night? If the answer was yes, then I used to buy it. If not, I just ignored it. Now, my money works harder than I do ever, and I never feel anxious on the first of every month. Let's move on to chapter number 7. How 1 crore bought me peace. Some people think you need 10 crores to be free. Friends, let me tell you something very powerful today. 1 crore, when structured wisely, can completely change your life. Some invested in secure, fixed return instruments, some into global income focused assets, and some into long-term growth funds, and a bit into real estate that quietly pays me rent. Remember, it should be a free cash flow producing asset and not to be mortgaged and taking all your rents. Let's combine. They now give me the monthly income, long-term growth, and the zero stress. I'm not rich, but free. And that's better, isn't it? Now let's move on to the chapter 8. What this means for me and for my family. My kids don't care how much I make. They just care if I'm around. My partner doesn't care about gifts. She cares about my peace, my presence, my health. Now I don't miss milestones. I don't come home angry or exhausted or very tired. I just live very slow. I eat clean. I walk more. I laugh louder. And this is why we build wealth, my friends. Not for cars, but for connections. If you're building not just for yourself, but for your family's peace and future, please drop in a comment. Let the world know that you're playing the long game. Chapter 9. Designing my own freedom plan. I created a plan that works for me, not what society told me to do, not what influencers shows on the Instagram. It included clearing all my debt, building a solid portfolio of cash flowing assets, and the appreciating growth assets, owning a few properties, creating multiple streams of income, and the digital and the traditional way, and slowly detaching from the 9 to 5 trap. I call it as a matrix, my friend. You see, it took me a few years, but it worked, and now I wake up with purpose and not with panic. We need to have income producing assets, my friend, and not liabilities. That's the biggest secret. Let's move on to chapter 10. It all starts with just one decision. Most people will keep waiting. I'm telling you, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for more salary, waiting for someone to rescue them, waiting for the lottery jackpots, or waiting for the lump sum to get from the company bonus. But hey, freedom doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who decide today, right now. One decision to stop spending mindlessly. One habit to invest consistently. One vision to build a life that feels good on the inside, not just looks good on the outside. A journey doesn't have to be like mine, but you must start. That's the whole concept of this channel, just to inspire others. This is not just about money, my friends. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, your peace. This is all about peace and profit. This is Aussie Wealth Builder, where freedom begins with peace.